Cassie Ventura's testimony on day 3 of the Sean Diddy Combs trial has taken an even darker and more disturbing turn. In part 2 of today's hearing, we heard about threats involving Kid Cudi, a violent outburst involving a wine opener, physical abuse, rape, and Ventura's heartbreaking admission that she once considered ending her own life. This video contains serious and graphic content. Viewer discretion is advised. Let's continue with part 2 of day 3. A night at Prince's house turns violent. Cassie testified about a night when she and her girlfriends went to Prince's house, hoping to see him perform. It was meant to be a fun evening, but she didn't tell Combs she was going. To her shock, Diddy showed up at the event. Fearing what he might do, Cassie said she ran, literally, and fell into a bush trying to get away. Later that night, Combs allegedly burst into her hotel room and began throwing her luggage at her. Terrified, Cassie fled the hotel and went to a friend's house for safety. This wouldn't be the last time violence followed her home. The Kid Cudi threat. Cassie testified that she began dating rapper Scott Mescudi, better known as Kid Cudi, in 2011. She and Combs were already on and off at the time, and she admitted she didn't tell him about the new relationship. But Combs found out anyway, during a freak-off. He had gone through her phone, read her emails, and became, in Cassie's words, irate. Then came a terrifying moment. "I just remember Combs putting a wine opener between his fingers and lunging at me," she testified. She immediately left the event, but the threats didn't stop. Cassie said Combs threatened to release sexually explicit videos of her to harm both her and Cudi. She said she even emailed her mother and one other person, using a pseudonym, to document the threats in case anything happened. Combs allegedly said he would send someone to hurt both of them, and more chillingly, that he would blow up Kid Cudi's car while he and his friends watched. The kick, the bruises, and the hotel room. According to Cassie, the situation escalated further. "Sean kicked me in the back," she testified. "I fell on the floor and then he left." She described large bruises on her back and other parts of her body. "He literally kicked me with the bottom of his foot," she said. After the violent encounter, Cassie returned to her hotel room and found it had been completely torn apart. She didn't say who did it, but the implication was clear. She was under constant emotional and physical siege. Violence against others. Cassie also testified that she wasn't the only one who experienced Combs' violent behavior. She said she witnessed him dragging an assistant and throwing a friend onto patio furniture during a balcony altercation. She also described an incident from 2018 when her 17-year friendship ended after Combs struck her best friend in the head with a hanger. The friend had walked in and realized drugs were about to be used. That moment turned violent. Although Cassie said they've spoken since, the friendship was never the same. Perhaps the most devastating moment of the day came when Cassie described an incident from August 2018. By then, she was no longer in a relationship with Combs. In fact, she was seeing the man who would later become her husband. She and Combs went to dinner for what she called a closure conversation. He wanted her to go to Burning Man. He was charming, playful, even romantic. He brought her home. And then he raped me in my living room, Cassie testified. On the floor. She told the jury she remembered crying and saying no, but he didn't stop. Afterward, he got up and left without saying a word. Why she saw him again. Cassie testified that she later saw Combs once more and chose to be intimate with him during a friend's birthday celebration. When asked why, she explained, they had been together for years. There was a strong emotional connection. "You don't just turn that off," she said. Despite everything, she felt stuck in a cycle that was difficult to break, physically, emotionally, and psychologically. The toll, guilt, shame, and suicidal thoughts. As her testimony neared its end, Cassie broke down while discussing the emotional weight of it all. She testified that she had been involved in hundreds of freak-offs, and that the shame and guilt became unbearable. "I considered killing myself," she said. But now, sitting on the witness stand, she told the jury, "I'm here to do the right thing." Cassie Ventura's testimony was officially paused at the end of day 3. She is expected to return to the stand on Thursday for cross-examination. From violent outbursts to terrifying threats, from emotional trauma to allegations of rape, day 3 has exposed a deeply disturbing side of Sean Combs that the public is only beginning to comprehend. And we're still only halfway through this trial. If you found this coverage important, subscribe to this channel, like the video, and turn on notifications because you don't want to miss what comes next. This is Now in the Spotlight, and will be here for every step of this case.